Hi, it's Michaela, and I just want to talk with you about what you can expect from a consultation, what is likely to happen, and how that tends to work when people consult with me. And so when you come in for a consultation, I want to let you know there's not like a whole bunch of paperwork that I need you to fill out. And I'm also not going to expect you to give me a detailed personal history or anything like that. So this is different from you may have been through a therapy intake in the past. And in a therapy intake, what people do is they often have you fill out a great deal of information about yourself. And they may start asking you for kind of an idea of what happened for you in every stage of your childhood in that intake and how your relationships are now and, this and that. And basically, a consultation is a time for us just to get to know each other. So I don't expect you to tell me all of this very detailed personal information because the first step with me is to find out if there's a click. Because why should you share all of that stuff with me unless we know that we have a good connection together and that we can really work with the sharing of all that stuff in a way that's going to be helpful for you. I think that sometimes people walk out of therapy sessions, especially initial ones, feeling kind of a little vulnerable and feeling like they've given a lot of information. And that can be really useful. It can be a really hopeful beginning to something new. And like, okay, great, somebody hears me, somebody gets it, and we're going to move forward. But I think that sometimes the step is missing of really getting a sense of safety with the other person. So if you come in to consult with me, sure, I'm going to ask you some questions, but I'm also going to welcome questions from you. And we're really just going to talk a bit about what your life is now and what kinds of things you'd really like to see happen in your life, in your relationships. And mostly what we're looking for is just that sense that we can work well together, that we develop understanding for each other, and that basically our communication styles work well together. And if they do, and we find ourselves really getting along and really excited about moving forward, then we'll talk about how we can do that and when we can get started and what's next. I like to start with people usually within just a couple days of the consultation so that we can really get some momentum going. And if we're not a click for some reason, if we find that, something just isn't quite right, and one or both of us feels like, maybe there's something that would be more useful for you than working with me, then I'm going to do what I can to support you in moving forward. And so the consultation, no obligation, no detailed history. What we want to do is talk. We want to connect. And if you happen to come in to see me in a crisis, by the way, then we're actually going to get down to work on that a bit. As we're getting to know each other, we're also going to talk about when to set up more time to work with the crisis or what resources you can go to next and kind of what you need just to kind of be all right and start to feel some sense of stability, hopefully from that first session. Okay, so go ahead and sign up for a consultation below if you're interested. And be aware that the scheduler is weird in a way because you need to actually scroll the mouse over to the right after you pick an appointment time. So just make sure that you do that so that you can press the submit button. And in the contact form area, feel free to give me a little bit of information about what brings you to see me so that I have some sense of what's going on with you. Just a little bit, thumbnail sketch. And I look forward to meeting with you soon.